by making our banana foster. Heat some butter in a pan on medium-low heat, and once it's melted, add the bananas, add some honey and cinnamon, and cook for about 5 to 7 minutes on low heat. Now remove from heat and add some vanilla, stir carefully and set it to the side. If you want to make this a little bit more saucy, add a splash of cream. For the quinoa flakes, you'll need 2 cups of milk, and this is the brand that I am using. You'll need 2/3 cups of the quinoa flakes. Let this come to a boil, and you need to work quickly because this only takes 90 seconds. You're going to add some cinnamon and vanilla. Mixture should still look a little bit thin, but it will thicken up as it cools. And now I'm just putting everything inside of a bowl, and I'm going to put the banana foster right on top. And I didn't add any more honey to the quinoa flakes because the banana foster is already sweet. And here's their quinoa flakes with banana foster for breakfast. Into a blender, add a 1/3 cup of milk, 1 whole orange that's been peeled, a 1/2 cup each of frozen cauliflower, frozen strawberries, frozen peach slices, and 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds. You're going to blend this until smooth. And here's their strawberry peach orange smoothies for the day. For the chicken, you'll need 2 boneless skinless chicken breasts sliced thinly, and you'll see why in a minute why I'm cutting it this way instead of cutting them into nuggets. Into a bowl, combine 1 egg, a 1/2 cup of milk, and a 1/2 cup of pickle juice. Add your chicken pieces in there, and you're going to marinate this for at least 1 hour. Overnight is best. For the dry batter, you'll need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar, yes, powdered sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, seasoned salt, and paprika. Mix this together. Remove the chicken pieces from the wet batter and add to the dry batter. Make sure they are coated evenly and shake off the excess flour. Now heat some oil into a pan, and I always use peanut oil when frying. You don't need a lot, just enough to cover 1 inch of the skillet. Once the oil is hot, fry the chicken pieces for about 4 minutes on each side, and because the chicken is sliced thinly, it doesn't take very long to cook these. You also want to make sure that you cook them in batches, otherwise they're going to get a little soggy. To make the waffles, into a large bowl, you'll need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. For the wet batter, you'll need 2 eggs separated, 1 3/4 cups of milk, a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Give this a whisk. Now pour the liquid ingredients into the dry ingredients, stir just until moistened, and the batter should still be lumpy. And in another bowl, you're going to beat the egg whites until they have stiff peaks. And now I'm just going to fold the egg whites into the waffle batter, and you're going to keep doing this until no white streaks appear. And now you're going to preheat your waffle maker to high and cook the waffles according to the directions of your waffle maker. To assemble, I simply slice the waffle in half and add the chicken pieces, and this is the reason why I cut the chicken thinly instead of like nugget cuts. They lay flat and easier to eat for the kids. I serve this with maple syrup, cherry tomatoes, melon, celery with peanut butter and goldfish pretzels, and Smart Sweets peach rings for a treat. And now we're going to start by making our turkey meatballs, or you can use any ground meat of your choice. Here I have 2 pounds of ground turkey, 2 green onion stalks sliced thinly, 1 tablespoon of ginger that's been grated, 4 garlic cloves, 2 teaspoons of fish sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, a half a teaspoon of white pepper, and 1 tablespoon of massaman curry paste. Now gently combine the ingredients, and now you're going to form them into meatballs. I like to use a small ice cream scoop to keep the meatballs the same size, and if it gets too sticky, just lightly wet your hands with water. Place them in the fridge while you prep the rest of the ingredients. Now heat 1 tablespoon of coconut oil in a large skillet or a pot on medium-high heat. Sear the meatballs for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side and remove them. Set them to the side. We're not trying to cook them fully because they're going to finish cooking in the curry. After you finish searing all the meatballs, you probably won't need any more oil. Now add 1 onion that's been diced. Cook this for about 5 minutes on medium heat, then add some ginger and garlic. Cook for about a minute or 2. Now add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of massaman paste. Cook for about a minute, then add some diced potatoes, carrots, coconut milk, fish sauce, soy sauce, brown sugar, and lime juice. Make sure that you coat this evenly, and then we're going to give it a stir and let this come to a soft boil. And now we're going to add the meatballs back in here and carefully make sure they are submerged in the curry. Cook for about 20 minutes covered. After about 20 minutes, remove the lid and add the frozen peas. Cook for another 10 minutes. Make sure that you give this a taste and add whatever else you think it needs, and you are pretty much done. I am serving this with steamed white rice and some green onion. For dessert, I am making butterscotch pudding. I'm going to link the recipe in the description box below. So here I just had about a half a cup of dark brown sugar with a little bit of salt and some water, and we're just melting this. And here I have 3 egg yolks, milk, heavy cream, and some cornstarch, and I'm just adding a little bit of milk to the cornstarch so that it can dissolve. Now whisk together the egg yolks, the cornstarch mixture, heavy cream, and the rest of the milk. And now we're going to add that mixture into the slightly cooled brown sugar. And the brown sugar is going to get hard, but as soon as we put some heat, it'll melt quickly. As you can see, the brown sugar has dissolved and it becomes very lumpy. And you're just going to keep stirring it. It's going to be pretty thick, and just keep stirring until it's a little bit smoother. I also added 3 tablespoons of butter and some vanilla extract. So the recipe calls for this to be poured into a fine mesh strainer, presumably so that it can be a little bit more smoother, but honestly I didn't mind and I really didn't have time to do that. So I'm just going to serve this warm with a little bit of whipped cream on top. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye.